Hi, I'm Bob Trask. This is our weekly reset. Today we're going to talk about building strong relationships. Building strong relationships. That's all there is, isn't it? Is there anything else? Our relationship with each other, our relationship with our universe, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our body, our relationship with our job, with our home, with our house, or with our kids. Everything's about relationships. And there's one central part of that relationship that we're going to talk about today. So important. And that's that my relationship with you really has nothing to do with you. My relationship with you is mine. I own it. It belongs to me. My relationship with you. And we spend all of our time judging each other. We spend all of our time looking at each other and saying, if only you could have been, should have been, would have been, could be, would be, should be different, be more like me, be more like I want you to be. Zig Ziglar, powerful, wonderful, motivational speaker, author, changed millions of lives. Zig Ziglar said, people are basically the same world over. Everybody wants the same things: to be happy, to be healthy, to be at least reasonably prosperous, and to be secure. They want friends, peace of mind, good family relationships, and hope that tomorrow is going to be even better than today. Isn't that what joins us all together? Isn't that strong enough to help us be friends? Now we have these world wars going on. They're not world wars, I guess, but there's wars around the world. And these wars in Israel and Gaza and Ukraine and in Syria, all these different places where all these wars are going on. If those people just looked at each other and said, that person wants the same thing I do. They want to be happy. They want to be healthy. They want to have a good family. They want to be reasonably prosperous. They want to feel secure. They want to have friends. They want to have peace of mind. Excuse me. And they want to have hope that tomorrow will be even better than today. And if we all recognize that that's what everybody wants, then could we stop being on each other's backs? Because how is it, since we're all wanting the same thing, that we push each other away and that we don't trust each other, that we see each other as competitors rather than colleagues? So can we stop that silly game? Because today we're going to look at how we can get past that, and we can put our precious energy into being one, to being flowing together instead of flowing against each other. Because as long as I'm in competition with you, and as long as I'm trying to make you wrong, then I'm not going to have much energy left for making my life work. So if I want my relationship with you to work, to really work, then I'm going to need to pay attention closely to this talk today, because I'm going to see a way of looking at relationship that not only is fascinating, but it'll change our relationship with everyone we know. So imagine with me for a minute. Imagine that we get into spaceship and we travel trillions of light years away, till we come to the end of the universe. And I have to laugh about that, because I think when you come to the end of the universe, there's this last little planet. And after that, it's all just darkness. Of course, there's no such thing, because everything is everything, and it just goes on and on and on forever and ever and ever. Hallelujah. Just never stops, just goes on and on. So there's no end. But let's pretend that there's an end. So we come to the last planet. And this planet's pretty much just made of dust. And that dust is real fine, like as fine as talcum. And so we take a little bit of that dust and we put it in our little microscope and we look at it and we sort it out and we get one little grain of that dust aside. And we say, now my job is to make that grain of dust, that speck of dust, that little mote of dust, is to make it non-exist. I don't mean burn it, because that turns it into gas and you just transformed it into a different form, but to make it not exist as though it never existed. Now, the minute I do that, if I could do it, which I can't do it, but if I could do that, at the minute that I do that, the entire universe will blink off, gone, like somebody turned the light off, gone. The entire universe. Why? Because everything is connected to everything. There's another way of saying that. Everything is in relationship to everything. And being as I'm part of the universe, I'm in relationship with everything. You're in relationship with everything. With everything. That mote of dust, the flower in your garden, the tree growing in the yard, the mountain in the distance, the clouds rolling in, the waves lapping up on the shore on a beautiful sandy beach somewhere in South Pacific, all over the world, all over the universe. All things are moving, all things are in flow, all things are like it's the weaving of a tapestry. It's like the weaving of the currents of a river. Everything is moving, everything is moving. Nothing is still, everything is moving, and everything is relative to everything else, and everything needs everything else in order for it to be. I need you. I need you because you're a part of my universe. I mean, if you cease to exist, I cease to exist. And incidentally, just very quickly, let me do a little quick aside there. You can never cease to exist because you have always been and you will always be. Not in this body form, but in some form. You have always been and you will always be, and you will always be you. You've always been you and you will always be you. And so all of this isness is a relationship dance. Everything is in relationship. Everything. So that mote of dust, I have a marble collection. I have a collection of antique marbles. Every one of those marbles, some of them are 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years more old. Beautiful marbles. I just absolutely love them. And they're all in relationship to each other, and they're all relationship to the guy that or the woman that created those marbles, and they're all in relation. Everything's in relationship to everything else. Everything's moving, everything's flowing. Each of us is a vital part of this reality. We're each a part of the great orchestra of reality, flowing as one with every little bit of dust, every whale, every mountain, every soaring eagle, with every other person on this planet. We cannot hide. We cannot disappear. We are connected. So in building strong relationships, it's first necessary to know who we are already in relationship with, which is everyone. We're all linked. So now we've established that we can't destroy a relationship. We can change its nature. We can change its form. We can change it from cordial to hatred, or from hatred into cordial. But we can do whatever we want with the relationship. But it's going to be the relationship. So I guess it then would be wise for me, since I'm going to be in a relationship anyway, to make those relationships work. Because if they don't, I'm the one that suffers. I'm the one. Because see, if I'm in relationship with you and I disagree with you, you said something that really hurt my feelings. You really, you really, you're a real piece of work, you. And so I have that inside of me about you, has nothing to do with you. You're not feeling that. You're not feeling that animosity that I'm feeling. And if you are, then that's your animosity because you and I are in separate relationships with each other. So when we think of relationships, we often think that I have to be 50% there and you have to be 50% there. And that's where we meet and come together. That's not the way relationships are. I have to be 100% in relationship with you. You have to be 100% in relationship with me. I have a person in my life who is about somewhere between 35 and 40% relationship with me. I'm 100% in relationship with that other person. That other person's about maybe 40, 45% in relationship with me. That's not my business. Whether that person's in relationship with me at all or doesn't want to have a relationship with me or is got an awkward relationship or even a caustic relationship, that's totally up to that person. It's not up to me. My job is to decide what kind of relationship I'm going to be in with that person, and that's totally up to me. Albert Schweitzer said success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you'll be successful. How that relates to relationships is very, very simple. Successful relationships are not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to successful relationships. If I'm a happy person, if I'm grounded, if I'm sincere and honest about who I am and about what I do and what I want in the world, then I'm available for you to have a positive relationship with. And then our relationship is going to be a successful one. Because if I love being in relationship with you, then that relationship is going to be successful. Now, having said that, there are some people who just keep poking at you. They just keep poking at you. They have their own opinions, they have their own beliefs, they have their own ideas, and they're coming at you constantly. And you get tired of it. You just get tired of it. Go away. You don't have to be in close proximity to that person. You will always be in relationship with them. For instance, if a man and a woman can't get along and they finally decide they're going to get divorced and they each go their separate way, they will always be in relationship with each other. Always, always, always for the rest of their lives. You can't, so you say, well, I divorced Arthur. I got Arthur out of my life. 20 years later, 30 years later, somebody says, ever hear from Arthur? You say, no, I don't hear from him. Well, how do you know who they're talking about? Because you're still in a relationship with Arthur, because he's still right there. And he'll always be right there. So we can't get out of a relationship with each other, but we definitely can distance ourselves so we no longer have to feel the slings and arrows of that relationship that are painful to us. Those people that hurt me, maybe hurt me deeply, maybe they betrayed me, maybe they slandered me. They're despicable. How can I ever have a relationship with them? I do have a relationship with them. Issa Rae said, if people don't like who you are, those people aren't meant to be in your life. 8 billion of us on the planet. 8 billion. Certainly out of 8 billion, I should be able to find 4 or 5 that are amenable to a good, healthy relationship with me. I should be able to find, out of 8 billion, I should be able to find half a dozen. But I don't find them if I don't give those who are in relationship with me that's painful their walking orders saying sayonara, check you later, bye, and let them go. And I'm still in relationship with them. So, but which means that I can still be thinking, oh man, that's I'm still mad at that person. Oh, that's then that relationship that I'm still having with them is eating me up. Is eating me up. It doesn't have to be eating me up. You can go all through the rest of your life being upset or angry at that person for the rest of your life. And it's not going to hurt anybody but you. If I'm upset with you and I'm angry at you and I think that you lied to me about me or you cheated me or you stole my money or whatever, I can go through the rest of my life being angry at you. Doesn't hurt you. Does hurt me. But I shouldn't have you in my life, even though I have a relationship with you. I can forgive you, I can accept you, and then let you go. T. Harv Eckert said, if you want to change the fruits, you have to change the roots. I love that. If you want to change the fruits, you have to change the roots. If you want to change the visible, you have to change the invisible. You have to change the invisible. So that means that if I want a different reality in my life regarding relationships, if I want a different reality in my life, then I have to change my mind. You say, well, and you say, or I say, yeah, but you don't understand. I'm really angry. I'm really upset. I feel hurt. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling abandoned. I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling heartbroken. I'm feeling slandered. I'm feeling all these things. What's the key words that I keep repeating? I'm feeling, I'm feeling, I'm feeling, I'm feeling. Not you're feeling, not someone else's feeling, not this is causing this or that. I'm feeling. And my feelings, please hear me, my feelings are the result of my thinking. If I want to change my feelings, I have to change my thinking because my feelings are the result of my thinking. So can I teach myself to think a different way? That's what acceptance is about. That's what surrender is about. That's what welcoming reality is about. That's what forgiveness is about. It's changing the way I think so then my feelings can change. I noticed when I was a kid in school that there were some guys that I just didn't like. I just didn't like them. They were rude, they were bossy, they were pushy, they stunk. I didn't like them. What I also noticed is that they had really good friends, which was interesting to me. What was even more interesting is that some of their good friends were also my friends. Now, how does that figure? I saw them as real jerks, but some of my friends saw them as really neat guys. So who's off base here? It took me a long time to figure that out. So in order to change the visible, I need to change the invisible. I'm going to change the fruits, I have to change the roots. I have to change the way I think. And incidentally, I just didn't say change what you think. I said to change the way you think. Because if, as long as I think this same way, I'm going to create the same thoughts. I have to start thinking in a different way. And that way is acceptance. And the opposite of acceptance in what we're talking about right now is that otherwise I have expectations. And when you fail me, you just failed my expectations. I expected you to be a certain way. I still expect you to be a certain way. I have a right, I tell myself, to expect you to do this. I have a right to expect you to do that. Parents are really great at this. John, I don't expect you to act like that. I expect you to blah, 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 blah. That's the way John acted. You can expect until your head falls off. Doesn't change anything except makes John feel bad. Expectations are the landmines inside every relationship. So here you got a guy out on the track, and he's a high jumper, and he runs over and he jumps over the bar, and it's set at 4 feet. He's right over the top of that bar. Then the coach moves it up. And then he runs and he jumps and he still gets over. Then the coach moves it up, and he'll move it up until the guy fails. That's what we do with expectations with our kids and with our spouses and with our friends. We keep moving the bar up until they fail. And then we say, there, you didn't meet my expectations. My expectations, not yours, my expectations. Expectations are the landmines inside relationships. I need to stop expecting you to be something other than who you are. And I need to look at my relationship with you from a point of accountability. I'm in charge of my relationship with you. I'm accountable of that. No one's in charge of my life but me. No one's in charge of my mind but me. There are limited ways of looking at the reality I live in, but unlimited ways of looking at relationships. The way that will guide our lives to building strong relationships begins with that I alone am responsible for my relationship with you. You alone are responsible with your relationship with me. Two attitudes can actually happen and coincide if we're both mature enough to take charge of our minds and our feelings. Our feelings, incidentally, are reacting from our thinking. So I look at these people, I go to the mall and I see all these people moving around in the mall. And if I look at them carefully, and I just stand back and look at them carefully, I'll see that each one of them has an invisible shield over the top of them, almost like a glass dome. And they're living inside of that glass dome. And the name of that glass dome is their ego. It's impenetrable. That's who I am. Thank you very much. That's my ego. And inside of that is like a dust storm, like a snowstorm of beliefs and memories and opinions and attitude. All of that going, and it's all from memories. All of it's from memories. All of it. 100% of it. I talked about a guy in school a little while ago who I thought was an absolute, complete, total jerk. How did he get to be a jerk? It's because as I grew up, I learned from my parents or from my aunts or my uncles or from someplace else that certain people are despicable and not acceptable people. And so as I grew up and I put that all together, then I saw this guy named Bruce, and I said, that's him. That's the guy they were all talking about. And so I disliked him. I disliked him. So if I were really honest, what I'd look at him and I'd say, he's got this snowstorm, this dust storm inside of him that he thinks he is. And it's all of his beliefs and all of his memories. How many memories? Trillions and trillions and trillions of memories that make him up, that make up who he thinks he is. And I'm over here inside of my glass dome, and I'm looking at all the rest of these people. And what if I would just be able to look at them and see, be fascinated? What if I could just be fascinated? What if I could just say, wow, wow, that person's really cool. Look at how they think. Look how they feel. Oh my gosh, look at this talent of this person or that person. What if I could do that? Then I would stop judging people and pushing people away and would be in harmony with my human family. Because none of those people are ever going to meet my expectations. Because my expectations are built on all my memories and beliefs, and they've got nothing to do with anyone else. If I can just get my ego out of the way for a minute, that would be cool. Ram Dass, who I just have so much respect for, said, we come into relationships often very much identified with our needs. I need this. I need security. I need refuge. I need friendship. And all these relationships are symbiotic in that sense. In other words, if I can flow into you, you can flow into me. But that means that I have to be able to get myself out of the way and be in service to you. Ram Dass said, we come together because we fulfill each other's needs at some level or other. Or as Zig Ziglar, once again, thank you, Zig, said, I believe that you can get everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. Relationships. Relationships. So again, if I want a meaningful personal relationship, then I have to be selective, because some people, their self-identity is going to clash with mine, and they may always feel distant, and that's okay. As my friend Dorothy says, that's why there's chocolate and vanilla. We get to choose. The foundation of any successful relationship is truth, and truth is that my feelings of joy and companionship are the result of my thinking, and my thinking is totally my accountability. Acceptance. Acceptance of me and acceptance of you. Growing up, getting to be mature enough to recognize I'm in charge here. I'm pissed off. I'm unhappy. Boy, I'm really happy. Boy, am I enjoy. Man, I'm in love. All of those are going on inside of me, and my thinking is creating those feelings. I need to be in charge of my thinking. Gladys Knight, great singer. Oh my gosh. Gladys Knight and the Pips. Gladys Knight said, love is what makes the world go round. Oh, I know, she said. It's a big cliche to use, but it's the absolute truth. There's nothing else like it. I know that's what everybody's striving to feel in relationships, in brotherhood and sisterhood, and in all the things we aspire to have in our lives. And I'll add to that all the things that we aspire to be in our lives, and all these things that we aspire to do in our lives. All of those have to do with love, and love has to do with other people. So I need to get to the point where I can grow up and stop reacting and start acting, start paying attention to the fact that I'm in my spaceship, I'm in my car, I'm driving, I'm in my boat, I'm at the wheel. I'm the captain of my life. No one is making me do anything, feel anything. It's all my thinking that's causing that. And I'm in charge of that. So I will go out this week and I will make a difference in my world by shining my light without expectations, without judgments, into as many people as I can and letting them know that I'm available for them as a friend, as a relationship. And I hope you'll join me. Thank you. Thank you, Gladys Knight. Thank you, all of the rest of you, Ram Dass, all of you who gave such wonderful things, Zig Ziglar. Thank you all. And thank you for being with me. And if this has been meaningful for you, would you please go to my site, bobtrask.com, and leave a donation? Boy, that'll help. That'll help me keep this good work going on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I'll see you next week. Be sure to be here.